Hello everyone, I'm Jed Shlackman. I work as a holistic counselor and also a hypnotherapist and energy healer. For this video I'll be speaking about maintaining our balance and our boundaries and how that helps, in a sense, protect us from falling prey to polarization and parasites or parasitism. If we think about boundaries, boundaries are things that keep us protected and keep us centered in our own space, in our own energetic place of being. As I talk about these topics, I tend to bring in some imagery of energy, the energetic aspect of our being, and of how we kind of master or maintain our own energy. So if we have inner balance, we kind of have this equilibrium and stability to our energy. It can't be too easily infringed upon by external forces or external energies. You can't be pushed one way or another so much if you're more solid and stable in your own identity, if you're kind of centered and protected in your own field of energy. What often happens in life is that we're not really that clear with our own identity, and so it's harder for us to maintain kind of steady, stable boundaries. Our boundaries might be too open, so we just allow anyone to project their will toward us, to direct their energy toward us, and push us in whatever direction that other person wants to push us. Then there's another extreme where people's boundaries have actually become kind of too constricted or too rigid, where they don't allow any external input or feedback in. They're too much focused in their own self and their own reality and not able to adapt in any way to their external environment or to relate adequately to the world around them. So that could be a response that occurs when someone feels they've been assaulted or traumatized and they don't want to deal with other people. So they just kind of close themselves off. They have these very rigid boundaries or thick walls they've put up around themselves. And when that's occurred, you tend to kind of get lost in your own reality. You're not able to relate well to the world around you and establish healthy relationships. Certainly, if you're too open with your boundaries, you're not going to have healthy relationships, since you'll naturally start to invite in or attract people that are going to exploit or manipulate you. You can think of those as the energy parasites, people who are using you in some way to get energy for themselves. So you don't really want to be in that position where you allow yourself to be easily manipulated, but you also don't want to completely cut off your contact with other people and not allow yourself to have really positive, healthy, and fulfilling relationships. So those are actually polarizations that can occur with our boundaries. The boundaries can be too rigid and constricted. They could be too open, too porous. There are many other areas of life where we can go to one polar extreme or another. And in order to recognize when that's starting to occur, you would need to have some sense of balance, of where is the equilibrium, where is the ideal middle ground in a sense, or medium point from which you can relate to life. Balance is not easy to maintain, especially in environments and realities where there are polarities around you, where there are beings that do wish to somehow manipulate your energy for their selfish benefit. So these are skills that we develop as we go along in our lives. No one is born as a child having mastered the ability to balance their energy and establish healthy, steady boundaries. As a child, we naturally are connecting with the people around us who are our caretakers, so we're dependent upon them, and we don't really have much of a boundary between ourselves and our immediate loved ones or caretakers. There's kind of this fluidity of energy between you and your parents or other people who are very close to you. But over time, you learn to be more clear of who you are as an individual, more clear about your own values, your own desires, your own intentions, your own beliefs, and so on. So as you become more mature, those boundaries start to develop and become stronger. You also become more conscious of all the different polarities in life, of things that seem positive or negative, good or bad, things that are pleasant, things that are painful or unpleasant. So you as an individual get a stronger sense of how you perceive and define those things for yourself. And the more clear you are about who you wish to be, what identity you're manifesting in a sense for yourself, then the easier it is to have boundaries that you maintain in your relations with other people around you. So it's that you're standing for yourself, for what's important to you, what's meaningful and valuable to you, and that's something you're deciding. You're not allowing other people around you to select and impose their values to be placed over you. You're actually expressing your own will, your own intentions. So for those that are looking to have more balance and harmony in their lives, to be able to maintain healthy boundaries and healthy relationships, I encourage you to explore yourself, your own identity, your own personality, the things that you feel are valuable, that are important and meaningful, to be conscious of how you react and respond to other people, how well you can say no to other people, also how well you can say yes to your own personal interests or desires. Do you put one of those too much ahead of the other? Are you overly pleasing and overly serving others? Or are you overly focused on your own self-pleasure and self-interest and doing that in ways that are harming others? So if you can look at both sides of that, you're better able to see a balance point where you can bring both together, where you can consider your own needs and the needs of others, where you can look in a sense at what serves the greatest good for all, for both you and others. I hope that this brief discussion has given you some things to ponder. As psychological and energetic beings, we all have different challenges we're encountering as we interact with other beings who have their own psychological and energetic patterns. Energy is always in motion, things are always flowing or evolving in some sense. So who you are and who you believe yourself to be isn't the same from one day to the next, 1 year to the next. You have the continual opportunity to refresh yourself, to recreate yourself, to transform your identity. For those that are interested in holistic health and personal growth, I invite you to visit my website, phinsights.com. That's phinsights.com. For now, I wish everyone a wonderful day. Namaste.